What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with another Aha demo, as well as a very sleepy Luca, who apparently is moving immediately to the lap, even though it wasn't there when she stood up. You are a silly girl, you know that? So yes, we're going to listen to a demo that apparently is sung by Mags, not Morton, and I believe is another track that was never used on an album. It was a demo they toyed with, experimented with, but did not develop fully. In any case, it's called Trees Will Not Grow on Sand, or is it Do Not Grow on Sand? Suddenly I'm second-guessing myself. I apologize, Luca. I know your comfort is paramount. Trees will not grow on sand, which seems like an ecologically valid truth statement. I feel like there are trees that grow in desert environments, but I think they still need some form of water, not just a sand base. Nevertheless, not to get lost in the weeds here, I will just say that it sounds like a lack of ability to grow properly, which I suppose there's a bit of, not irony necessarily, but a fitting thematic connection to a track that never made it onto the album or to any of the albums. But yes, it seems like a concept that relates to not getting the roots that one needs to grow fully, or the nutrients that come with being watered or being in fertile soil. I feel like there's any number of metaphors that could be used here. Perhaps it's just a concept and a visual rather than a metaphor itself, but I'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. You know how ridiculous you are, Luca, right? This is Aha and a demo from the East of the Sun, West of the Moon album that never made it onto the album, and it's called Trees Will Not Grow in Sand. On sand. Excuse me.
Alright. Sometimes it's harder to go home alone. Sometimes it's harder to make it on your own. But there's one thing I know: trees will not grow on sand. Sometimes it's easier to go home alone. Sometimes it's easier just to know you've gotta make it on your own. But there's one thing I know: truth will not grow on sand.
Is it truth that matters?
On sand, yeah, on sand. Come on over, baby, we're meant to be. You may not realize it yet, but I shall make you see. 'Cause one thing I know: trees will not grow on sand. One thing I know: trees will not grow on sand. Yeah, yeah.
So yes, it definitely sounds like a song in development. That was very short. I would say no more than 2 minutes or so. Ultimately, I have a very cute cat on my lap, so I'm not going to disrupt her leisurely lounging to check the run time, but I would say maybe like 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes at most. And there's that, sort of, they're in the studio, a couple spoken elements at the very beginning, even the end. It feels like they're like, okay, let's see, let's cut tape on that one. but ultimately it does feel more like a Mags tune, I would say. There's a down in the salt of the earth type of feel to it. I would say also his voice works well for a track like that, and a track like that, by which I mean a bluesy, almost spiritual kind of track. It feels like the guitar especially was bluesy. Shout out to Paul, that part near the end was really compelling. But yeah, it feels less like a, reflective, head in the clouds, thinking about life or, large philosophical concepts. It feels more like I'm going to show you the truth of the matter because I'm feeling it down here where things are tough and you got to make it on your own. So again, not only does it sound a bit like a Mag solo tune, but it feels also like his voice lends itself to this type of track. And yeah, definitely a rustic feel, the acoustic guitar, like played very powerfully, and then ultimately, like with the layered sonics of the guitar, I think that was a nice touch. So it'd be interesting to hear a further developed version of this. Apparently, it didn't go that far, but I do like the sonics in principle. I will say, again, like hearing stuff from the very early 90s, it's clear they were trying very different things than what they were trying in the demos of the earliest days, going through the demos from the Hunting High and Low period. This doesn't sound like anything either on the album Hunting High and Low or the demos that they were experimenting as they led up to releasing their debut album. So I like it for the sonic arrangement and its, again, down-to-earth bluesy type of feel, but also because, again, it's another indication of the evolution, the dynamic nature of a-ha as you get to the 90s. So Luca agrees with all of this, trust me on that, but ultimately she's going to remain mum for the time being. I do apologize, Luca, but I do have to get up at this point. See, this is ridiculous. This is where my job is tough, because I have to... Oh, see, I'm going to take this opportunity. Yep, see, just a little opportunity. You got to wait till she is feeling like standing up and stretching, as she's doing right here. So, a cool little demo, definitely one that I think would be curious to hear with more development, but such was not the case. Let me know what you think of it, and I will see you next time. Peace.